Asics Metaspeed has been one of the most popular shoes in recent years. Versatile, user-friendly and built for speed across all distances from 5k to the marathon. The Metaspeed Sky Paris is my current race day shoe and I've been eagerly awaiting this new release. So here we are with the Tokyo version, which is actually version 4. And just like the previous 3 versions, it comes in 2 different options. You have the Metaspeed Sky here, and rather annoyingly, in exactly the same colour, looking very similar, the Metaspeed Edge. At first glance, they look almost identical, but actually they're built for quite different runners, and that causes so much confusion, but that's where this video is going to step in. And after my initial testing, there has been a clear winner between the 2 for me. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one to pick. We'll be breaking down all of those key differences between the 2 shoes, who each one is designed for, and how to choose the right one for you. Because at a quite staggering £240 a pair, this is definitely not a decision you want to get wrong. Throughout this review, we're going to put some text on the screen to reference which shoe is being shown. If I'm running in blue socks, that means I'm running in the Sky. Or if I'm running in white socks, that means I'm running in the Edge. So firstly, let's chat about everything new with the Tokyo version and what's different between that and the outgoing Paris version 3. So here's my very battered, well-used Paris version 3 Sky Edition. I've absolutely loved racing in that. But that's old and that's out, and so let's have a chat about everything new in the Sky Tokyo and the Edge Tokyo. Firstly, unfortunately, we've got a £20 price increase, so a bit of a boo there, not a nice way to start. We now have a different midsole composition in these 2 new shoes. Before we just had FF Turbo Plus, but now we see an introduction of a new foam from Asics, which is called the FF Leap, and both these new shoes have a combination of those 2 foams. The FF Leap foam is a little bit softer, bouncier than the Turbo Plus. In the Edge, the Leap foam, which is the lighter white colour here, sits above the plate, and in the Sky shoe, it sits beneath the carbon plate. We've also got a new upper material called Motion Wrap 3.0. Very, very similar to the outgoing one, 2.0. It's just an engineered woven mesh. It feels very light and strong. There is a slightly more minimal heel design at the back of the shoe, the heel cup at the back of the shoe, just a little bit more cut back, but it's given me no issues whatsoever. And really quite nicely, the shoe is around about 20 grams lighter than the outgoing model. And then finally, we've just got a slightly different shape to the foam at the back of the shoe as well, which is going to help that rear foot stability across both those models. But one of these models is a lot better for rear foot strikers, and we'll come on to that very shortly. But I just want to say a massive quick thank you, because I've really never been able to afford to buy both shoes at the same time to be able to give you this Edge versus Sky comparison video. At £480, it's a lot of money to spend, and we always want to do that here on the channel, to buy these shoes 100% with our money, to give it a pretty honest, impartial, unsponsored, and everything review. And I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that likes and shares and comments on our videos, and the channel's got to a point now where I've been able to afford to go out and buy both shoes to give you this video and help you with your running, and that makes me very happy, so thank you so much. Right, let's get stuck into the facts and figures. Right, let's get started with the purpose of these shoes. They're very much race day shoes. They're all out effort on race day or key workout type shoes. With the Sky, the shoe is designed for stride runners. People that when they increase their speed, they increase their stride length. They may well be increasing their cadence a little bit as well, but predominantly their stride length is what is going to help them run faster. The shape of the plate in the shoe is a little bit more on the flatter side, so that when your foot hits the floor, there's more of a bounce, more of an upward lift to help you stride along the ground a little bit better. In contrast with the Metaspeed Edge, there's a lot more of a curve to the plate that you see in the shoe, and this is designed for cadence runners. People that when they increase their speed, their cadence is the main thing that increase, and their stride length doesn't go up by quite as much. The shape of the plate helps you get more of a forward propulsion, helping you increase your cadence, because that's where your strong point is. So many people really get hung up on the issue of, are they a cadence runner, are they a stride runner, and then they can't choose which one to buy. My advice is don't get hung up on this issue. There's some more important things of how to choose the right shoe for you, and we'll be coming on to those very shortly. Price-wise, both these shoes set me back a whopping £240. £480. Unfortunately, £480 to get both of these shoes here. Stack height at the back of the shoe, 39.5mm for both of them. Drop on both of them is 5mm. Weight-wise, Asics claimed the weights are exactly the same, but in my pair, they definitely weren't. The Sky came in at 199 grams in a UK 11.5, and the Edge was slightly lighter at 191 grams. For comparison, my outgoing model was 219 in the Sky, so around about 20 grams lighter for the Sky. The upper with this shoe, they both have, the uppers are identical as far as I can tell between these two shoes. They both have this Motion Wrap 3.0 upper, lovely breathable airflow coming through the shoe. Midsole wise, both have this combination of the FF Leap and the FF Turbo Plus foam and carbon plates, but the position of these three components is what differ between the shoes. Starting out with the Sky here, this has the slightly older FF Turbo foam on the top of the shoe, then the plate, and then you get the FF Leap foam beneath that. The carbon plate in the shoe is slightly flatter, slightly higher up, nearer to your foot to help push you up in the air a little bit better. Basically trying to create more upward lift to help that stride length. The Edge, on the other hand, has the foams the other way round. So we have the FF Leap on top here, and then the more stable, more hard-wearing FF Turbo Plus foam on the bottom. The carbon plate here is much more of a curve to it to help push you forward, helping to increase your cadence. On the bottoms of the shoe, they are slightly different colors, which is nice to see. Finally, a difference between the two, but they are very, very similar. They just have a slight different cutout in different places. One up here on the Sky, and then on the Edge, we have a cutout down here. Maybe you can help me out in the comments with why that is the case, because I quite frankly don't know. But the grip and the outsole is pretty good. We're definitely going to get a little less durability on the Sky model because the much softer foam is all exposed here on the bottom of it versus the more hard-wearing foam on the Edge model. And then finally, sizing wise, both shoes fit exactly the same as you'd expect from Asics, in exactly the same size as I had in my previous Paris model at 11.5. In the Asics range, I tend to go 11.5 in their racing shoes, in the Metaspeed shoes, 11.5 in the Super Blast and the Super Blast 2, and in the Nova Blast and the Gel Nimbus, I tend to go my usual 12. So I suppose to say go half a size down is what works well for me in that sort of racing fit, but true to size or half a size down, you'll be all good in this shoe. Right, I'm just gonna go for a little quick fire through some likes and dislikes. There is gonna be a dedicated video on both of these shoes when I've got a little bit more mileage in them, but I've just got some likes and dislikes to have a chat about at this stage. Right, let's chat about some likes. I'm just gonna hold the Sky, but this is relevant to both shoes in this section. The new FF Leap foam in the shoe is absolutely fantastic. It's so lightweight, it's so responsive, it's so bouncy, it's so propulsive. Just really enjoyed that lovely addition that we're getting in the Tokyo version. In combination with that FF Turbo foam, it's easy to see why this is just an absolute no-nonsense upgrade from the Paris at this point of my testing. Good width with the shoe. It does feel slightly wider to me in this version as well. Haven't had any irritation at the side of my feet at all. Really nice to see that weight reduction from the Paris model as well. The heel lockdown of the new back of the shoe has been fantastic. That new redesign, I was a little bit worried about just how minimal it was at the back of the shoe, but it's been absolutely fine for me. In terms of my early sort of little dislikes, it's hard here because this really is a very good shoe, without a doubt. But with this type of shoe, you've got to realise there's very little versatility with this one. This is for your race days and key sessions only. This is not going to be much fun to be jogging around with. Also, the tongue did slide down a little bit in my early testing. I can probably just fix that by just putting it through the loop in the middle of the shoe. I'll just redo that for my sessions coming up. My third little annoyance with the shoe, that £20 price increase. Nobody wants to see that, but we are getting a big upgrade with some better foams in the shoe without a doubt. And then finally, you've just got that big stress of did I buy the right one, which is just really annoying, but that's why we're making this video. So we're next going to go on to the differences that I found between these two shoes to help you pick the right one so you don't have that stress. Starting out with the Edge, this shoe feels so much more stable than the Sky. This FF Turbo foam, the big chunk of it on the bottom of the shoe here, just helps with that stability so much. So the ride with this shoe does feel a little bit firmer than the Sky, which is definitely more on the soft side. So if you are a rear foot striker, then the Edge is definitely the one to be going for, because that big chunk at the back of the shoe is just going to be so much more stable as your foot hits the floor. The plate here just gets you onto your forefoot a little bit more, just helps tip you forward, which is a sensation that I really like when I'm running. And as I say, the durability will be much better on the edge as well, given that more hard-wearing, firmer foam at the bottom of the shoe. Moving on to have a chat about the Sky. This is definitely a much softer ride compared to the Edge, and also compared to the outgoing Sky as well, due to this massive addition of the FF Leap foam at the bottom of the shoe. It feels a lot snappier compared to the Edge. It feels like you can get a bit more of a turn of speed. For me, I would be picking a Sky for racing at 5k distances and 10k distances as well, as it feels a little bit more bouncy, a little bit more poppy, but the trade-off here is that stability. Whereas for me, racing half marathon, marathons, I will be picking the Edge. It feels a lot more comfortable to lock in at a pace and cruise along at. This is going to be a little bit better as I fatigue. As I get towards the end of those longer races, the marathons, I might start up nicely striking in the mid-foot, forefoot range, but then as I fatigue a little bit, going to be striking a little bit more on the back of the shoe. That stability there is going to help much more in those longer distance races. Better data, and for me the ride just felt a little bit better. But myself, I tend to be much more of a half marathon and marathon distance. They're my strong distances, and so sort of naturally this shoe just felt a little bit better for me. So in a very little quick summary, if you are a heel striker, if you like more of a firmer ride, if you're a marathon runner, if you're a half marathon runner, if you're a cadence runner, that is where the Edge comes in. Where does the Sky come in? For me, that comes in if you're a 5k runner, 10k runner, you like more of a softer ride shoe, then that is where the Sky comes in. It's going to really help those people that like bounding along during their training sessions and races as well. But as I said at the start of the video, you're going to have a lot of fun in either of these shoes. Please don't stress about it too much. I chose wrong before, quite evidently, and I still had a great time in the shoe. But hopefully with the facts and figures and everything I've given you in this video, you can go and get the perfect shoe on your feet. And so that's it, guys. Thank you very much for enabling me to make this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share with your friends, and let us know down in the comments which shoe you'll be choosing, if at all. I'm off to get some more training miles in for Sydney, and I wonder which shoe I'm going to be running in. I think it might be that one. That's it, guys. Keep working hard. Keep it done. I'll see you very soon in the next one.